Morning, good afternoon, and good evening to those of you around the world. Welcome to the daily Trade the Chain crypto update, where we give you everything you need to know for the next 24 hours and hopefully the next few days. Today is Tuesday, October 10th. We are into the second week of the month and the quarter. And right now, total crypto market cap mostly flat from where it ended yesterday. Bitcoin and Ethereum sentiment definitely starting to pick up. Obviously, Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin slightly up, Ethereum slightly down, but no major difference from yesterday's close. We are seeing tweet volume pick up, so that it means that people are definitely, talking about and possibly excited about what price action we've got. Hottest on Twitter, not too big of movers. Bullish coins, there are a few. Many are not, feeling too well. BTU, XTZ, again, we've got these crap coins that are really zooming. So not, the best kind of signal in the market, but we are seeing, some stables being added to exchanges. We did have a lot. Actually, this was a bit of a change from when I had last checked this morning, but a lot of stables pulling off after, a big inflow over the past, 12-ish hours. So definitely something to watch out for on that side of things. Let's move over to DXY. We are back near this, this kind of bottom level from the 29th of September, but we have cracked beneath the critical level of 105.9. That is, the high from back here on the 7th of March. So it does look likely we'll probably end up at this 105.4, 105.5 level, which is also the 4-hour estimated 200 moving average. There's some good confluence there. And then we kind of have a little demand zone all the way down to, 105.1. So if we drop down here and start to kind of consolidate and then lift back above 105.4, that would be a good long signal. That would basically be kind of a sweep of the demand zone. And then we kind of start creeping back up. So obviously bull case didn't happen. We did warn the TTC community, although it was at support, did look pretty weak. It is obviously moving down, and equities are moving up. So we did feel pretty good about equities yesterday, due to the daily close that we talked about on Trading Rebellion. It was, we reclaimed the 1-day estimated 200 moving average. We, confirmed that yesterday, and we are obviously moving higher. So we are above, 4380, which is the low from back here on July 10th. And we're obviously above the lows from, mid-August, mid to late August. So, step one, step two complete. Now, this is going to be a very critical level because you want to flip this. And if you do, you can probably start to look at, where I'm circling in terms of, next targets. So, things are looking positive now, but we have seen rejections that, are pretty ugly. And this is exactly where you would expect a rejection to occur. So if you are bullish, definitely think now is when you can maybe take a little bit of risk off the table. But I will say, chances of breaking and moving higher, still very possible. And if we kind of look at my favorite RSI trend game, we have broken the RSI downtrend, which means, maybe we have a snapback to tap it, but it does look like that will end up moving higher, at least in the short term. So maybe into mid-October, we get a little bit of relief. And again, I think, kind of right around here would be a good level. So what is it? 4450 seems like a natural level for a little bit of consolidation. And then I would say, 40, just above 4,500 to 4,515 would be kind of my next two targets. Provided that we have a daily close above 43.79. So that's really, if you are a bull, I would definitely be watching the daily chart above 43.79 close. Definitely positive. And then, maybe look for, if we have a close below, look for things to kind of come back to this level right here, which is 43.35, which was very critical this morning. And then maybe you can then reclaim that or have, some sort of double top. So very, very interesting little, range that we're going to be in right now. Close above, very good. Close below, hope that 43.35 holds. Let's look at Bitcoin, which has obviously been noticeably weak. Let's just, kind of run back to the 1 hour here. Obviously, since 9 a.m., it's been pretty much up. And since 9 a.m. for Bitcoin, it has been, a lot of volatility, no real price movement. So 9 a.m. was right here, 9 a.m. ET. We jumped up. This was right when I think one of the Fed governors said that he didn't expect any rate hikes. So we jumped up, and then obviously look at where confluence was. So we have the previous daily close, we have the weekly VWAP, we have the 1 hour estimated 200 moving average. So triple confluence of resistance, rejected pretty hard. So if you know how I like to trade, you've been following us for a while, I typically like to look at the Monday low and the Monday high for trading the Monday range. And if we, again, remember last week, Monday high, Monday low, sweep, move higher, sweep, move higher. So, pretty decent trade opportunity if you try and play that system. So what I'm looking for is a sweep of 27,260 and then a pop back above 27,260. And I think that would be a good long, possibly up to 27.7, 27.8. And then if we can really get some gusto and flip that level, then we can move back up to the Monday high, which is at it's just under 28K. So that's the ideal trade. And then obviously if we do break beneath the Monday low and we drop beneath it, we'll look for a rejection at the Monday low to then get shorts, to then look for 26.8, 26.9. And then, there's a lot of room down below that we can talk about. But I think just given the reaction from equities, it would make sense that, a nice little sweep down here, clean up some liquidity, and then jump higher and get back above the previous daily close. So that's the ideal setup. And like I said, we'll know, basically you'll know if it's a rejection if you cannot reclaim the lows, so sweep it, reclaim the lows, long, sweep it, cannot reclaim the lows, that is a short. So let's look at ETH, which is a little bit, less clear, but, still I think presents the same kind of opportunity. Monday high, Monday low, and then, possible first sweep could have been, obviously this low right here. So we've kind of met that sweep, but I don't really love how this looks. It's just a bunch of Darth Maul candles down here. We do kind of have this little sweep, but again, I don't really love it. So I'd look for a couple more candles to come in to see if we can actually confirm at this level. But if Bitcoin does drop to, 27.25, maybe 27.2, clean up that liquidity, I would imagine ETH is probably gonna drop down to at least 1550 or maybe grab these lows. So ETH definitely represents the same kind of trade opportunity. You sweep this low, you reclaim the low, it's a long, and then you target right here, and then right here. And then obviously if you break the lows, and I'll get kind of rid of some of this just to decrease the confusion. So this is what we want, sweep and then move higher. And then if you sweep it and then reject off of 1545, then we'll look towards 1530 or potentially down to the nice round number of 1500 down here. So very, simple, I don't want to call this easy, but it's simplistic in nature. You're waiting for a sweep of the lows to get long. If the lows break, you wait for a rejection and you short, and it's the exact same system on Bitcoin. So the one thing that you need to be watching out for this week, and we'll wait for this to load up. I don't know why it's being slow, but we mentioned this yesterday, but we have CPI, and I don't know why this is being slow. So let's switch back to the TTC chart. But we have we have CPI on Thursday, which is projected to decrease for both CPI and core CPI. So that definitely gives a little bit of relief into the week. We typically will see kind of quote unquote front run into what is expected to be a good CPI. And again, we do obviously have potential escalation for the war in the Middle East. Right now it seems contained, and I hate to talk about a horrible war and the topic of contained or growing or anything like that. So I don't want to keep it very markets focused. So if you imagine other nations are getting involved, that could impact trade, that could impact global relations, that could impact commodities prices. So that is not what we want right now. The markets would prefer that the situation in the Middle East stays between the two nations and people that are at war with each other. So if that is the case, then it will basically allow markets to breathe a little bit more. So if the US gets involved, UK, UN, Germany, Russia, whatever, if more nations start getting involved, bad. If no one else gets involved, that's good. And I'll leave it at that kind of sentiment just for the macro perspective, so you can understand, what news headlines to look out for and how they may impact the chart. So as long as it's as it is right now, I would expect a little bit of bullishness into the week. Obviously, equities are leading the charge. Crypto is very slow, but as we could see, Bitcoin, just had a nice little jump while we were talking. So, I don't love a trade unless it's a sweep, because I know a lot of people will be asking, well, what if you just get long here? Well, you could get long here and you could set your stop down here, but what if it gets swept and caught? So I'd rather kind of miss out on the trade, because the target from here would just be kind of 22.7 to start. And you could get that, but I really don't like leaving the lows untapped. So I'm just going to be patient and wait for something to develop. I will say, 1 hour, I kind of see a little bit of bullish divergence here. Obviously 1 hour moving higher while, the 1 hour candle bodies are flat. So that is another kind of feather in the cap for the bulls. And I will direct you down here to stock RSI, because whenever we do have that cross, it will typically lead to some green candles. But, again, very tight range. So, difficult to trade it unless you get, kind of the ideal situation. And sometimes, you're not going to get the ideal situation. So it's better to just be patient, wait for your triggers to hit. Yesterday, we hit some good shorts on Ethereum. I was actually a little bit bullish in the TTC community. I think, right around here in the morning, I had some BTC longs, and then I was like, I don't like it. And then Ethereum just, dropped all the way down here to 1545. So that was a good trade in the TTC community. You're more than welcome to check that out in the winner's circle. But, when there's not a good opportunity, as CJ and Monte like to say as well, no reason to overtrade. So just wait for the good opportunity to present itself, and then, move forward. So with that being said, go ahead and wrap up here. Another coin I am watching, just as a final note, is Solana. We did have, I don't want the brush. We did have a huge decrease in open interest this morning, which I thought was very weird. And now we're really picking back up in terms of OI. So, which gives me, and I would expect these to probably be some longs. So, it gives me the other idea, sweep the lows, clear out the longs, and then, jump back up to this level or maybe higher. So be watching that. We're in a wait and see mode. Wish I had a lot more excitement for you, but that is what we're looking at. And then just to give you a little extra surprise, some of the most bullish coins right now: ARB, BNT, Zcash, FTT. Some of these are performing well over the past 24 hours, like ARB. And if ARB is doing well, then maybe it's worth checking out OP and other L2s, although Matic has been quite depressed as well. So, we also added a few coins today. We added Core, we added Cadena, and I think we added Looks Rare as well. So those, you'll be seeing those on the TTC charts. So that being said, good luck, happy trading, and would love to see you in the TTC community. 14 days free at www.tradethechain.com. You get full access to myself as well as 2 other professional analysts, plus the founders of TTC who have spent decades in markets, along with all of our bespoke content, our daily emails that we send out to our members, and of course, trade calls, trade ideas, trade setups, everything you want to kind of have a relatively relaxed way of tackling the markets with success. So good luck, happy trading. See everybody tomorrow.